What this is doing, guys, is breaking this process down. Instead of having a bullseye target in front of you and you're saying, oh, crap, I got to, you're down and left. You're like, oh, crap, I got to put it down and fix my sight like two different ways at the same time. This breaks the process down for you. So you're doing one thing at a time and you're simplifying it. It makes things a lot easier, guys. I'm telling you. You'll try it both ways eventually and you'll see what's better. So today, guys, I want to show you how to sight your bow. I kind of sighted mine a little bit the other day, and I didn't have the proper tools to show you guys how I do it, because I kind of didn't. So I kind of just winged it for myself. And I didn't want to, give you guys a half chopped video, and no. So I waited. I got what I needed, and now that I got it, we can shoot. So, real quick, I'm gonna show you guys. All you're gonna need is some kind of tape, whether it, obviously it helps to be a brighter color tape and not too thick, you guys. You don't want that really thick duct tape because it defeats the purpose of this exercise. So I'll show you what I mean. Check this out, guys. So you see how I tape this almost like a cross laying down, just like that, guys. That's the easiest way. And this thickness is perfect. You want to make sure it's not too thick, but not too thin, so you can actually, you don't want to drive yourself too crazy trying to sight in. But that's what you want, guys. So I'm going to set up, and I'll explain a little more, and yeah, we'll get shooting, guys. We're all set up. Guys, when you're sighting in your bow, don't guess your distance, all right? When it comes to your sighting in your pins, either get one big tape measure or go on Amazon, guys, and invest in a rangefinder. You can get them pretty cheap. I think as low as like 30 or 40 bucks, but this is one of those things, guys, you don't want to go too cheap. I mean, I don't know if you can find one for even $20, but if you can, don't do it. At least spend $50, $60 on these guys, because even those ones, they're not the best, but you won't find me spending $300 on one, that's for sure. So anyway, guys, you're gonna need a rangefinder. I have mine set at 20 yards right now. You start at 20 yards, and you're most likely, guys, are gonna need an Allen key because most sites use Allen keys to adjust. So first thing I'll do is, so I'm gonna start with my top pin, my 20-yard pin, right? So what I do is I take 3 or 4 arrows, guys, and all I'm focusing on is trying to make your pins float up and down on that tape that you put down there. Okay, it doesn't matter where on the tape, just as long as your pin's on that tape, we'll do that. Again, guys, I don't know if my bow, I was messing with it, so it could be sighted in, so for the sake of the video, I'll kind of just show you how I do it. I don't think I'll make any adjustments, like actual adjustments, but I will physically show you how I do it, trust me. So let's see how we do. All right, so that was a little left, but I don't know if that was me, so that's why we shoot a few arrows, guys. It does help if you have either different colored nocks, different colored light nocks. That'll help you figure out what arrows are what that you shot, because I just shot that arrow, I know it's left, but then after I put another 2 arrows downrange, it's going to be hard for me to figure out which one I know I screwed up on and which ones I don't really know. So, you don't have to do that, guys, but it helps me. We'll send another one. All right, I like that one. That was good. Send one more. All right. I wasn't quite sure. So I will shoot another set, guys. If you're not sure, don't be afraid to, send as many arrows down as you got to until the point where you're comfortable enough that where you were comfortable with the shot. You want to just make sure you have those perfect shots, guys. Because, yeah, this won't work otherwise, obviously. So I'm going to do one more, guys. See if it was me. Yeah, it was me. You guys. So, look at this, guys. Right? This is what you want to get eventually, guys. Look at that, right on top of each other. So, instead, all right, this is a good example. So, you see how it's a little right. It looks a little different on the camera. I apologize, but it's a little right, guys. It's not in the tape at all. So, if you make these shots and you have arrows that are consistently in the same spot, but to the left of the tape or to the right of the tape, but they're in that same spot elevation wise, that's a good sign. One, yes, it's not a good sign that you have to you have to fix your sight, but it's a good sign because it's telling you that how much, that's an accurate reading of how much you need to move that sight. So what you do, guys, is you take your Allen key. So that arrow, when I shot it, I was floating up and down, and I made sure my pins were on that tape when that arrow broke, guys. The arrow broke, and it landed a little right, just like I showed you. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to explain things very thoroughly because I see a lot of videos out there, and people don't do that, I almost want to talk to people like they're idiots because for people like me, it's easier when I'm learning to break it down for me, I'm not doing it because I think you guys are idiots. I do it because it's how I would like to learn, so I apologize if I dumb stuff down too much sometimes. Okay, so again, I shot the arrow, it went right. Okay, now you would think if you were shooting a firearm, you would think that you need to move your sight left, right? No, it's not like that with archery, guys. You need to follow your arrow. Okay, so that arrow went right, so I'm gonna move my sight right. Hey guys, let's say you shoot after you make your adjustments and all 3 or 4 of your arrows that you shot are in that tape that goes up and down. Perfect. Okay, moving on. Now, what you want to focus on is when you draw your bow back, you want to put your 20-yard pin, you want to try to float it side to side as much as you can. I know it's hard, guys. I know it's hard. It's easier to do it in a circular motion, whatever. But, you want to try to put your pin on that sign that's that horizontal, that side to side line, okay? Nice. Those guys. So I felt this one was no good. I know I messed that up, but these two are right on the tape, guys. Okay, right on the tape. Okay, now let's say you took a shot and you were aiming again, guys. Whoops. You're aiming at this, right? Because when you guys are, remember guys, when you guys are aiming at this line, you're adjusting your elevation, and when you're aiming at this line, you're adjusting your windage, okay? So now that we're on this line and you shot low, that means your shooting is obviously low. So now, guys, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna grab my Allen key, and I'm gonna find the elevation setting on this. You know, you obviously have two settings. You know, this is your windage and this is your elevation. Okay, windage, elevation. All sights are different. Okay, but for my elevation, this is the one. When I twist this, it clicks up and down. So that shot was low. Okay, guys. So again, you don't put your sight up. You don't do the opposite like a firearm. Once again, you go down. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure I move this sight down. Okay, and let's say I shoot again and my adjustments were perfect. You know, everything's good. Perfect. So the next step is we'll take some shots. You have your sights set where when you're aiming at that the tape, you're hitting that tape. Switch to a target. Now you can go to your bullseye target. And just like that, guys, you're shooting dimes. Okay? There's no need to use a bullseye target to sight in your bow. All right, you know that those weren't absolutely perfect, but hey, they're in the target. They're not in the dime, but the guys are there, and that's that was my literally showing you something and then taking a couple shots, and but I mean that's raw. That's raw footage, guys. I mean it works. Now, guys, now that you got your elevation and your windage, excuse me, down for the rest of your pins, okay, however you want to sight them. I have 5 pins, so I do 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, okay? You do it however you want. That's the standard setting, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to back up to 30 yards, and you're going to take a shot with your 30-yard pin, okay? But this time, guys, so now that you already set your windage on your, with, moving the whole mechanism, your windage should be fine, guys. The only thing you should be adjusting with the rest of your pins is elevation. Okay, so what that means is when you're adjusting, when you go back to 30 yards, 40 yards, and you shoot that bow, it's most likely not going to be off to the right or left. Okay, if it is, it's probably you. It's going to be low or high. Okay, that's what it's going to be. So with that said, guys, obviously after you do the 20-yard pin, you're 30, 40, 50, and 60, okay, you're not going to touch this anymore. You don't touch this anymore. You're done with this. After you set your 20, you're done with this. Now, you're going to use the screws on the side of your sight. Again, all sights are different, guys, but most sights are pretty standard. They'll have screws on the side, and that's how you adjust your pins. And you probably won't be able to see it with this camera, but you'll see little Allen keys in there for each pin. You just loosen it and you move it up and down accordingly. And that's why it's important to have a rangefinder, because as you back up, guys, you want to, even at 20 yards, you want to really make sure that is at 20 yards, or 30 yards and 40 yards. You want to make sure everything is accurate, guys, because it's going to screw you all up. If you're off, if you're sighting in your pins and your yardages is all messed up, you're going to have a hard time, guys. I'm sorry, but you're going to have a hard time. But try this method out, guys. Try this way out. I know I'm not the only one. I'm not the first person. I'm not trying to claim I invented this. When I was a young kid, one of my best friend growing up, his stepfather got us into shooting archery. And that's what got me into it at the age of, I think I was like 12 or 13. And that's how he taught me, guys. Okay, but it wouldn't surprise me if somebody already beat me to this, guys, because it's a pretty known way to do it. But I was hoping I can explain it, the way I explain things, because I believe I have to learn a certain way. I'm a very hands-on learner, guys. I can read a book, I can read directions, but do I prefer to? No. But I wanted to get this info out there into the world, guys, because I just want to help you guys, man. I have had such a positive experience by immersing myself in the hunting community. I've had nothing but amazing people help me out, guys. If I've asked for help, hey, can you show me how do I do this? Oh, how do you do this? How do you do that? People have been more than willing to show me, take time out of their day, take time out of whatever to show me. So I think I need to give back in a way, and this is my way of getting my information out to the world, and I really hope it helps somebody. It might not help all of you guys, but if I can help one person, man, then I then that's why I keep making these videos, because I hope that one person I can help. But anyway, guys, I really appreciate you guys watching my stuff. Yeah, like and subscribe, guys. I really appreciate you. And again, keep shooting. Peace.